Shada cha cha cha. See if that's the. Oh, that's got to go over the thing over there. Oh, hey, Instagram, it's me, T from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. You know, oh this. Oh, by the way, this is a Grand Rising report. I report on things that happened like in the last few hours, days, and perhaps perceived into the future kind of thing, that kind of thing. The Grand Rising reports happen in the morning. Usually, I've been consistent. I wake up early anyway. I'll be doing some stuff, but it's blue light. We're in blue light. So shout out to Blue Light Brigade. You know who you are. You know what you're supposed to be doing. Right? They start. Yeah, the birds. They starting. You know. It's funny. In the early morning, we get more birdies. Right. Later in the day, is more. Are they ravens or crows? Whatever they are. I should take a picture. You know, in the modern world, you can get to take a picture of the bird and then do something, and then they tell you back what kind of bird it is, where it's from, or stuff. But I'm not that hip. I mean, I should be, I could be, but I don't want. Your time and energy is what you have to spend. Which reminds me, let me tell you, I've been having because yesterday, I really didn't go. Well, that's not true. I did go up and visit. I think I got some honey. I walk every day, at least an hour or 2 hours, whatever. I walk every day, you know. And then, but I was sleeping. I took a little. I usually take short naps, like an hour at the most. But I had a long nap yesterday. This is good. I feel good. Of course, you know. Anyway, the point is this: in the early '80s. Before I tell you that, now let me put this. I go back in the early '80s when I finished. Well, I dropped. I was in graduate school for playwriting. You know, I did the whole thing. And I did everything. All I had to do was hand in my thesis, which was just a play, which is the easiest thing for me to do. But I didn't do it. There's some reasons for that, but we won't get into it. I broached out with it. Let me give it a little evidence to that. When I graduated undergraduate school, it was Livingston College, Rutgers University, right? People like a really good, you can call her a girlfriend of mine. I really love Linda so much. It was like the thing, we should be married, but we couldn't get married. Why? Because she had rules. She was like a stickler for rules. I'm a metal tiger. You can't cage me. But she was perfect. In fact, she's the one that sewed up my I wear a cap and gown that was made of African fabric. No, for real. That's my cap and gown was. This is wild. Man. We're talking about what is this 1974, 1970, whatever. No, not 1974. 1975, 76, 76, somewhere around there, right? And she was in the graduating class. In fact, James Small was in our graduating class too, so we graduated together. Livingston College was amazing, but they had a jazz department. Don't forget that part. Anyway, so I said, Linda, aren't you gonna walk on your mouth? She said, no, I'm not graduating. I'm not going to graduate. That's what she said at the time. I said, why not? She said, I don't want to be a statistic. It's weird because that thing just played on my head, played on my head. So I went to graduate school for playwriting, and also down in the same area. At the time it was a School of Performing Arts, and they changed it to, well, now it's a Jack Bettenbender, I think. But before that, even when doesn't matter. And so I was in graduate program, and about the beginning of the second year, I wrote what was acknowledged as a perfect play. Look, I'm not saying that, I'm just trying to say the head of the department was the personal secretary to Lillian Hellman, so she should know what she's talking about, right? And this, everybody acknowledges it's the perfect play. It's a four-person play. It was, okay? But me, see, let me put it this way. If I was a drummer, they kick me out the band because I'm going, this is like that. This is why, as an audio dramatist, it's great for me because, I just like being an audio dramatist. Even doing a play is like, I get bored quick and I get, whatever it is. But anyway, so I didn't take the degree, but I realized why years later. First of all, I would have been because I was the only, no, there was two black people in the playwriting program, in the master's program. One was a black woman, but she was sort of like, she was sort of like go along to get along, the whole thing. And I was very radical. I mean, you think I'm bad now, I'm really bad then, right? So my thing is, since I give you the perfect play, and I wrote these plays that were like, oh man, they out there, they shoot each other, all kinds of forms of how adapting, had you do my works. I mean, and they was sort of miffed. They wanted me to continue, because, you get into they want you to continue to do what was successful so they can, basically so they can, you can be their poster child. And I realized, wait a second, if I take this degree, then I'll always be like, they'll say, oh, see, this guy, and then I'll be like, basically, they'll say, oh, he did it, so you can do it. I had that thing early on. The same thing with undergraduate, not the same thing, but the same thing, well, not the same thing, but the same thing, not the same thing. But when I graduated undergraduate school, people asked me, because I was top of the class for the communications, they said, well, aren't you going to CBS, ABC, and NBC? I said, no. I said, why not? I said, because I'm not, at some point, the mediocrity, we'll be in mediocriity, and I have to get rid of them. They have to get rid of me. I ain't going to do that. I want to go back to theater. So anyway, I say all that to say, in the early 80s, I did a lot of stage. When I got back, because I was in the Air Force and with the other stuff, then when I got back to theater, because I was in the theater from Negro Ensemble Company when they started up until I left in early 1990s, when I went to the Air Force, 1970. When I came back, it was like 10 years, and the whole scene had changed. All the people, all the great actors that went through a process, they were all gone. They were going to Hollywood, and people in the theater, the scene, there was a lot of nepotism, a lot of cronyism. It's like, I didn't like the scene at all. So but one of the things I did tag myself was a thing called the Attack Group. We were a bunch of technicians that helped, like black theater, at no charge, no little charge, help them to put their programs together, hang lights, sound, all this stuff, right? And also because of stage managing, I took a lot of dance classes because I wanted to get into the head of dancers. Have a different head. I'm telling you, it's a totally different. They have actors a certain way. The best people for me at the time to stage managers were opera singers. Was all they wanted to make sure that they have their hot tea, water, whatever it is, lemon. That's all. Honey. That's all they needed. Anything else, the place would be falling down around. They didn't care as long as they could sing. They didn't care. But anyway. So I stage managed line dance, but again, it was an attack group. We didn't ask for a lot of money. It was a very interesting time. One time, me and David Shepard of Peace and Blessings upon his eternal soul. David Shepard was one of the people. Me and David Shepard, great guy. John Harris Jr. Oh man, I wonder what happened to John Harris. I gotta look him up now. I hope the boy's still around, man. We had amazing people at this time. Early 80s, black, off-Broadway black theater, man, I'm telling you, it was it. I'm talking about the technician part. I'm not talking about the presentation parts. So, one time, me and David, we were hanging lights, and I looked at him, and he looked at me and said, why do we do this? I mean, there's no money in it, anything like that. Then we looked down, because they were rehearsing, the dancers were rehearsing. They would look back and said, we know why we do it. I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you the rest of it, but I'm just saying, right? Anyway, back then, like for instance, there are certain things that, like with dance, if you're going to see a performance, right, the best place to sit is the back of the last row in the mezzanine, the last row in the orchestra, because of the eye level and stuff like that and whatever it is, and I mean, that's the best place. I mean, one time, we was at City Center, someplace we was, maybe not the Joffrey, but maybe it was Alvin Ailey. Somebody was dancing, right? I'm back there with Maurice Hines, all the biggie wigs, we sitting like that. Well, I was sort of like, people know who I was. The point is, right? That's where we sit because that's the sight lines. It's just the best place to see. I bring all that up to say, I'm in India right now. I live in South Africa. Stuff is happening in the States, all over the world. from my, because of the internet, because of my vantage viewpoint, I'm going like, oh, this is wonderful. I can't believe what's going on. You know, you got the Sahels doing it. You know, you got the Burkina Faso. You know, I call him Commander Ibrahim. Commander Ibrahim, he's taking some prisoners out of jail and having them being farmers, so they learn how to farm. And that's food. They're going to reforestate the desert. He got the evidence. You got my guy Colonel Gota. He's doing his thing, making weapons and blah blah blah. And you got and then this like. Doge, this is super hilarious to me because all the people that are against Trump and a Musk and like that, I'm laughing. You see me rolling. You see me rolling on the floor. You see me rolling on the floor with tears in my eyes because you can tell people are going after the person. It's like identity politics or another. They go after the person, not knowing the strategy. I'm going to tell you once again, I've been saying this for years. I know you don't want to admit it. Donald Trump is smarter than you are. I'm sorry. It's a fact in my head. Why do I say he's smarter than you are? First of all, he went to these elite schools, right? Which means he knows all those people. Leave that alone. Let me give you another thing. Let me give you something to think about. What does he do on his own time? He has a golf course. He goes golfing. Let's go back to the 50s, you know, when I was born. In the 40s and 50s, when they wanted to do stuff, they wanted to do stuff. Every Wednesday, sort of Sopranos, every Wednesday the doctors, everybody had off, and they would go to the golfing, right? They had these golf clubs where like black people couldn't get in, all the rest of that stuff. What were they doing? They were meeting out there in golf. They were meeting, they were talking, they were making deals and stuff like that. So that's what was happening, right? Fast forward to today. Donald Trump, he's you see his lineage. I know we got lineage, struggle and stuff like that, even though we got lineage. He got lineage too. Raised by gangsters, blah, blah, blah. You see, real estate, know how to deal with the tax code and all the rest of stuff. And now, here's a brilliant move. He said what he was going to do when he becomes president. Now, everybody's going to like, oh, he doing this. Oh, he doing that. Oh, he doing this. And then here's a really brilliant move. He brings in Elon Musk, right? Who Biden gave him a security clearance anyway. So anyway, leave that alone. And Elon Musk does what what they're supposed to do. Audit. Now, how many years we've been asking for an audit for the military, and nobody ordered, right? They start doing that. Instead of people saying, oh, yeah, let's find out what the heck's going on, what they do is they start to attack Trump and Musk. But they mostly attack Musk, which means they're not attacking Trump. Don't you understand the brilliance of this? Think about this. Please, look, I know you all in your feelings, and you got the teeth. The really insightful black people, they just sitting back and saying, oh, like me, oh, this is interesting. Oh, you mean the Hillary and them, the Clintons? They did this and then the bullshit shot. Meanwhile, the Democrat and whoever the Chiles and all that stuff, people they say, oh no. Meanwhile, he said, and Africa, or not just Africa, but you all ain't. We ain't giving you no more money, not through this agency. And European, you got to pay your own bills. Now, notice what the Africans are doing. The Africans say, "Oh, okay." I mean, most of them. I mean, people who got paid, they still, how about the HIV people and the babies? Everybody gonna be dying. Look, like the cat. Was it the cat in Ghana? Was it the Ghana cat? The new Ghana cat. The Ghana, one of those cats. The Ghana cat, whatever. He said, "Hey, what are y'all? It's not your money. You've been. What's the problem?" And then you dig deeper. Forget what they're doing. Forget what the money that was taken. You dig deep into the African economy. If you did, like the Sahel approving, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. Hey, there it is, sunrise. Here we are, a new day. And so they say, hey, we got the money. that Russia's relieved the debts here, China's really doing this and that. So we don't need this. We don't need this USAID, which is nothing but a spy thing and a money laundering thing for certain people in the elites like that. So poof, okay, But lazy people they don't want to really analyze this stuff, right? So to me, I'm just having a ball. In fact, this frees me up because remember, Mr. Dilly Fuller Jr. says all we have is time and energy. So I'm writing like a bandit. I just later today I just have another thing. Later today when I do my evening report, because this is an audio drama day, then I'll reveal the La Les Kusama that I did. So there you go. Have fun. You're free. You're free. You don't have to be beholden. You don't have to be taken there. You don't have to suck off their teeth anymore. You're free. You're free. What you gonna do with your freedom? That's the question. Talk to you later.